So guys, Mr. Showomi is calling on Peter Obi to return to the PDP, that he has better chances in the party, that he shouldn't listen to those calling on him for a coalition. They just want to take advantage of him, that the PDP is a more better place for him to stay and win the next presidential election, citing that the PDP has always worked in the interests of the Southeast, and that the Southeast has also been part and parcel, when it comes to building the PDP. So for him, Peter Obi stands better chances in the PDP. But the question remains, can Peter Obi join the PDP when people like Wike have proven to be unrootable? I mean, they cannot be removed from the party. Tinubu has boldly said, Wike has boldly said he is going to support Tinubu in 2027. And you want Peter Obi to come into such a party where one of the key leaders, let's assume he's still a key leader, has openly said he's working for Tinubu. How does he want Peter Obi, or how does he expect Peter Obi to enter the PDP and then win the presidential election? I'm going to allow you to listen to how he has argued his case out. Take your time, watch this video, and let me know your honest reaction in the comment section below. Now take a look.
Fine, thank you. So, Mr. Showomi, let's get right into it. What are the potential benefits and drawbacks of Obi's return to the PDP, and how do you think it will affect the party's internal dynamics and external relationships?
Very good question. First things first. With due respect, Peter is at liberty to do whatever he thinks is in his best interest, before we get the impression that anybody is forcing him or pushing him or dragging him or pulling him. No. What are the potential advantage first for Peter, before I then go to the potential advantage for PDP? Because that party, People's Democratic Party of Nigeria, in my opinion, owes a southeastern debt. Sir Alex Ekweme, one of the drivers and the founders of this party, dragged the Indigbos into that party. He tried to be president in 1999. He came short in the primary, but notwithstanding that, the Indigbos have been very, very passionate, very consistent with the party. If you look at our numbers in the seasons when we used to win, between 1999 until 2015, including the 2015 and 2019, our biggest numbers came from them. And if you are part of those who believe that the pendulum, when it goes to the north for 8 years, must swing to the south for 8 years, then you have to ask, if the PDP is to go south, where is the equity for them? I hold a very strong view that that equity is in the southeast. Now, for Peter to be able to cash onto that equity, what does Peter bring to the table, and what will Peter be earning? On the table is that with very little effort, he will bring in the southeast. He will bring in a lot of the numbers in the south side, never mind the fact that governors are jumping up and down. He will bring in the Christian north, and he will bring in every middle, fair-minded Nigeria that is looking for a different type of country. That's what Peter will bring for PDP. And what will Peter get from PDP? He will be getting, however he even may be lazy with his campaign, he'll be getting a grassroots party that understands that you can't go to election without having, what they call, there's one word I'm looking for, skip me now. Those people that agents in every polling unit, you will get that. At the worst outing of PDP, the smallest number we ever got was the one that was allocated in 2023, which is 6.9. Before then, we would always bring in a respectable 12-point-something million, sometimes 12-point-something, and sometimes as high as 22-point-something million. So if Peter thinks that that energy is good for him, it's for him to take that decision. If he doesn't believe that, he's at liberties to go and start struggling positions with people who think that he's a schoolboy who must be invited to come and be number 2, never mind the fact that there's no reason why he should not desire number 1. If Nnamdi was alive today, what would he have said to Peter? He would have said, and I dare guess to Peter that, look, Peter, you have gotten back some political respect for us in Igbo land. Under no circumstance must, if they can, your message, they cannot respect your drive, they cannot respect your passion, then let them go and cast that boat and throw it in the Atlantic Ocean for you. That's Peter's business. Now, for the PDP itself, because the party is not doing too badly at the base, they don't have much problem at the grassroots. They don't have much problem at the states. They don't have much problem at the zones.
Well, allow
in fact,
me
I dare say they have only but
just for the sake of time.
Oh, yeah,
and also on the same
interrupt.
Since we are talking about the PDP now, and the plot is thickening, what lessons do you think that the PDP have learned since the last elections and Peter Obi's departure? And the significant impact he had under Labour Party and, of course, the obedience which he will most certainly be bringing along with him if he does join the PDP.
Just before just after the primaries that produced the president, the ticket in the hands of His Excellency, the last candidate, they had called a meeting of some of the stakeholders. And I had been brave enough to stand up in their midst to say, dear beloved PDP, you cannot have a Peter Obi problem, have a wicked challenge at the same time. You are not going to make it. Unfortunately, his words are words. But if only they know the amount of research that goes into thinking before you can offer them words. Did we make it? In the middle of that campaign, let me share this with you for the purpose of experience. When the campaign was going on and everybody was settled, and our rivals, the APC, started introducing the concept of placeholder, I ran to his alive, Mimiko, and asked that they should please get Peter back into the room with me. Myself, Mimiko, and Peter, and I begged Peter, I said, Peter, now you have gotten to the point where nobody can ignore you. Why don't you let us go back to the PDP and make you the vice president and use Okowa for a placeholder, because it's not going to bring anything to the table anyway. Peter was a little bit willing and, a little bit undecided. I reported it back to the PDP that at this material point in time, do what our rivals have done. Use Okowa as placeholder and get Peter back. I called the civil society leaders. I said, okay, what do I need to do? They told me, fund a meeting. If you fund that meeting, we'll do a communique, blah, blah, blah. They didn't listen. Did we win? Okay, we didn't win. What lessons have we learned? Very simple lesson. The political parties on their own can no longer insist that people are just going to vote for you because you are shouting your slogan. The nation and the electorate and younger people are now looking for a different type of leader. I'm not saying that Peter can do it all by himself without help, don't get me wrong. And I'm not saying that others cannot win, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that if the energy that is driving conversation is anything to go by, they should just beg him back. And they should stop playing games. And we can then solve the southeastern debt we have. And I believe that the PDP must have learned a serious lesson, which is that you can't undermine the gist that has been giving you the most numbers. The only time we struggled was when the Igbos were not backing us. Every time the Igbos had backed us, we didn't struggle. Look at our numbers in Kanu. Look at our numbers in the last election in Lagos. Look at our numbers even in Delta, where Okowa comes from. Look at our numbers in the whole of the South-South. Look at our numbers in the North Central. Look at our numbers in Abuja. Well, tomorrow is 29th, and I will take a new position as to what my politics will look like going forward. But my desire is that let us even have competitive parties so that the ideological underpinnings that would drive conversation can be top-notch. But hey, I have a right to choose whether I want to be president and even contest and challenge President Bola Tinubu if I want. So it is also everybody's right to be doing whatever they want. Whatever they do that they are calling coalition, As far as I'm concerned, it's forum shopping, looking for a platform to activate their ambition. They are entitled to it. They are entitled to it.
Show me. Now, let's talk about the PDP's NEC meeting. What were the key outcomes and how do they address the party's festering crisis?
With due respect to my party, the PDP, you know, there's a principle called you can't build something on nothing. And they're going to find out that in the recent of the world, they didn't have a NEC, they had a stakeholder meeting. Because for you to have a legitimate NEC, you will first of all have to put a legitimate notice of that NEC to INEC. And that legitimate notice of NEC must be signed by whoever is the publicity secretary and the chairman now in acting. If you did not inform, oh God, INEC of a legitimate NEC, every decision you have there is stakeholder. It's part of the reason why you saw that they couldn't even take any serious decision. They couldn't say yes, they couldn't say no, they couldn't be truthful, they couldn't even be strategic. What? Hey, it's not bad. The things that we are struggling with, every big party will struggle with it. The APC is still at its infancy. They've just achieved one president and another one in his second year. By the time they achieve about 16 years, they will learn to know that it is not very easy to manage selfish politicians of the Nigerian type of, men. Our people are just damn too selfish. I think the PDP must understand and understand good. They must accept that you can't disobey the law. You can't disobey your constitution. You can't disobey the courts. You can't disobey the Supreme Court. You can do it, believing that you are smart, but I hope that by the time they find out that all of this is all rubbish, it will not be too late. And let me remind them, Zamfara, when we were going to win with now the Minister of State for Defense, Matawale, we only want Zamfara because they said all their votes was cancelled. Let me also remind them that when Yusuf now Minister of FCT, was coming in 2019 for a second term, it was an easy ride for us because all of the primaries of the APC was cancelled. So if it can happen to them, if we're not very, very careful, it can happen to us.
So guys, you have seen it for yourself. Peter Obi is now the one of the most important politicians in the country, considering the number of persons he has across the nation waiting for him to be voted in as the next president. Peter Obi enjoys this natural, organic love from the masses that stemmed out from the way people perceived him and, the way he managed Anambra State when he was the governor. The only governor who left office, leaving money behind, call it in dollars, call it in naira. Peter Obi left a lot for the incoming president to see where to start from. Unlike a typical Nigerian politician who always leave office leaving bundle of debt for the incoming governor to come in to start settling debt instead of, planning on how to take the state forward. Peter Obi has made a whole lot of difference. And when it comes to, Nigerians looking for who to easily align with, Peter Obi remains that politician that you don't need to struggle to fall in love with him. When he speaks out of passion. He speaks out of empathy. He speaks out of somebody who is not tribalistic and who wants to see the entire Nigeria, work for the betterment of Nigeria. Peter Obi remains that uniting force who wants to come and start from the scratch again in rebuilding this country so that we will actually become the giants of Africa. And you have seen it, he has proven it. In the last election, we saw how Peter Obi, without spending a dime in terms of buying votes and all that, Nigerians came out en masse. And when they saw that Peter Obi was on track to winning that presidential election, they told us a glitch happened. Until today, they've not come to tell us what was the glitch, what caused the glitch, how did it happen, and how are they going to prevent such glitch again from happening in upcoming elections. We've not seen that happen. But guess what? Nigerians are not giving up in ensuring Peter Obi comes back in 2027, considering the level of failure of the current administration. The Tinubu's government has proven that it knows nothing. I mean, in terms of creativity and coming up with projects that can take Nigeria forward. They've proven to be, empty in terms of ideas. They've only shown us that their area of expertise is only in the area of borrowing. Like we've seen that When Buhari left office, Nigeria's debt was at 77 trillion naira, and people were lamenting that Buhari actually borrowed a lot, considering the fact that before Jonathan came in, Obasanjo offsetted the debt that Nigeria was owing, and the little that the Jonathan administration borrowed, Buhari came and skyrocketed it and left it at 77 trillion naira. Nigerians were lamenting that it was really much. But guess what? Tinubu in just 2 years has moved Nigerians' debt from 77 trillion naira to 184 trillion naira. And people are like, this one is becoming unrepairable. You can imagine where you are owing money, you are not sure if you'll be able to repay. That is where we are. And looking at the way things are going, they are not going to stop at this point, because it appears borrowing is the only option for Nigeria to embark on key projects. After all, the much they've borrowed now, we've not seen anything to show for. There is no key project on ground now that you can point to and say, see where all the borrowed fund was directed to. Nevertheless, Nigerians are still hoping that 2027 presidential election will be another chance for us to elect our choice leader to come remedy the situation on ground. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell. Please give this video a like so that YouTube can recommend it to others, and drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you.